5, standard, invite, game on. Game 1 of how many? I do not know. I do not know how many games will be played, but I do know this. This is game 1. I also know that my fan is going crazy because I am running on a laptop. So, let's roll here. We have a Queen's Gambit declined, and we might be entering what? Is anybody recalling the Carlsen versus Kasparov game? Where Carlsen ended up drawing when he was a very young kid there. What do we do here? C6 supports the center and allows for queen to a5. I'm drawing a blank here. Bishop d3, knight f3. Does it really matter? Let's get my knight out. Why not? Get that knight out of there. Off of that back rank. What if the queen comes here? No, well, it's not going there, so don't worry about it. Let's go, bishop. I thought I might be having to do like a knight d2 move, which is not something you really want to do out of the opening. It's pretty atypical to move the same piece more than once in the opening, something you really shouldn't be doing, but there may have been a purpose to do just that. Let's challenge this bishop. I'm not going to castle. I'm going to hold off on that because of what? Because I might be wanting to do what? I might be wanting to have black capture, have me recapture towards the center by default, unless there's a good reason to do otherwise, and then have a half-open h-file to be playing with. Now with this move, I'm still, I guess, making black think to themselves, is white going to castle kingside or queenside? See the difference between just running with an immediate castle and making a purposeful move off the back rank, focusing indirectly on e4, which is a square that black could be making use of with this knight. Could easily see the rook playing to this file here. It is half opened. Logical deployment of the rook. I think I might be interested in queenside castles. I'm going to give that a shot. And I really do not plan on keeping my king on c1 for too long. I think black was a bit concerned about a potential knight b5 move, although I don't think it would turn out to be so great because there would seem to always be a queen a5 check for as long as my king is on e1, of course. So, well, here we go. The C file is ready to be blown right open. And if I don't capture it, C4 is played, hits my bishop, then B5, B4 with tempo. I don't know if I like that. I also don't know if I like pawn takes, knight takes, hitting my bishop. Something is a little bit scary with that. We're about even on time. What do I do? Do I really want to deal with a 3-2 majority? Because if I don't react correctly, that's exactly what we could have on this side of the board. 3 versus 2. Take, knight takes bishop here. The light square bishops come off. I think I'm helping black develop by doing that. I'm going to take and then throw my king on b1 because right now if you ask him if he's comfortable on c1, his answer is definitely not. Definitely not. And I'll pre-move that in case there's that capture. If knight takes, I go here. If knight takes, bishop, queen takes. If something sneaky like g6 is played, preparing bishop f5, I'm going to throw my king in the corner. I think a1 will be even safer than b1. So let's go. Right away, if knight takes, queen takes, or if no knight takes, let's say something like g6 is played immediately. I still want to throw my king right here. Okay, here we go. I have no light square bishop. I better be very cautious of wherever it is this bishop may want to be going. If it gets to f5, that is TKO land. Now this pawn is hit 3 times, defended once, but the queen does not act well as a leader. And I may not even be needing to move my king away because I could rely upon my knight to be on d4, can I not? Or can't I? Quit getting fancy. Knight d2, blockade. Blockade that isolated pawn. That's the plan. Now what? Less than 2 minutes for my good opponent who continues to give me good games. We have played more than one. I said that right from the start. I think one of the games that we played I had posted to my YouTube channel. I don't know if I want to just stick around on h1 with this rook. I'm not seeing so much happen on the h-file, so I might want to transfer my attention. I was just going to say rook c1 and the other rook to d1. Now with this, if I take the queen, then there is no longer you know, the possibility for, let's say, me to exploit this pawn right here. Now what is being threatened is queen takes, rook takes, bishop here. No, it's not. I lied. The knight's there to watch over it. Rook here, do not do that because you like your queen too much. I'm struggling to relay my candidate moves to you, the viewer, here, because I don't really have very many. Capture the queen, move my king to the corner. b3 is a little bit weird, a little bit weakening. f3 to just stop knight moves. Let me give that a shot. Why not? We're about even with time. I spent quite a bit of time on that last move. If the queens do come off, you'll notice after the exchange I am one step closer to being able to form a battery along that d file. And you know, I'm seeing now, since I have this f3 move played, initially my thoughts were, okay, just watch over a knight move here or g4, but since it's here right now, I'm already considering, let's say, g4. I could view it as both a preventative and facilitating g4, g5 stuff. So here we go. The ladies are off. g4 is here. Maybe still this is a possibility. I have control over this dark square, and I will be getting kicked away very soon. Knight here. That can definitely be a little bit annoying now. What do you do? If I take this, recapture, I'm not getting at that pawn. So I think this is a good move. Now, you'll notice I was a bit reluctant to run with it earlier when the queens were still on the board, and the primary reason why I'm doing it now is for two things. One, watch over c4 because I was fearful of knight e5 to c4. And two, I guess I could be bumping my king up to b2, an ideal square, being that it's on a dark square opposite that of this bishop. And I guess just one step closer to being in the center of the board, which is exactly where you want that king in the endgame. So now I'm pretty sure I could be getting this pawn. So let me let my rook see this pawn directly, and now it could be won. My only question now is, should I take it right away or just throw an additional piece on it? Maybe knight here is just best. If I hit it a fourth time and still defend it twice, there's nothing that could really be done. Let me go here. So it's hit 4 times, 3 directly, 1 indirectly. And let's go with this one. I could always support it with this. I guess I am in a little bit of a pin. That's uncomfortable, but let's get out of this. And I don't want to get into just a knight ending, so that's why I chose to not go with the rook capture at that point. And now let's get some more. I didn't need a3 actually. Let's do this. What's the time situation? Can we do this? Get the king up. clock. King and pawn endgame. Is this winning? Is it winning? Uh-oh. Fast pawn. Push the king away. Can't take, otherwise he runs fast. Okay, he's flying. There's no time, though. Okay, as usual, a flurry of moves right there towards the end in time pressure for both of us. And as usual, another good game by Mr. Sakal. Alright, let me hit the rewind button on this and flip the board and look at things from my opponent's perspective, and maybe we could take a thing or two away from this. So, queen pawn opening. If you're interested in knowing a bit more about the difference between knight f6 and bishop to e7 at this point, a recent YouTube video I posted explains it in more detail. That video is, if you searched for Giri versus Aronian, I think it'd be one of the first few that would populate in that search result. So, okay. And it has a thumbnail of both of those players as well. So, okay, we have this, and it's... When I saw the knight d7 move, this is entering what's like a Cambridge spring defense. But we don't have the typical queen a5 move. But this seems to be quite alright, I think. Well, I wonder if the queen's move is the right thing to be running with. Maybe there's even a better setup here. Get the knight out. I take, you take. I get e6, c6, maybe queen a5 with bishop here and knight to e4. The typical Cambridge Springs idea is maybe what black should be running with, because I wonder if it's now turning out to be a bit of a drawback to have this knight deployed to the d7 square before having developed the light square bishop. So I'm wondering, if you are going to do this, maybe it is best to follow through with the pressure on this diagonal and maybe force an eventual retreat type of move with knight d2, which is something that you would find in the Cambridge Springs defense. On the white end, this is a move that does show up. And in that... Or no, wait, you know what? I was mistaken, by the way. I made a video on it. It was not Aronian. It was not Giri versus Aronian. Excuse me. It was Carlsen versus Kasparov, and it was the last game analysis video that I posted on the channel. So anyhow, sorry about that. So anyhow, I think the queen a5 with bishop b4 is going to be the way to go, because now I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I think this is black's best try, but it comes at a drawback of having this pawn isolated, and this can't be too comfortable. So I think that's my main suggestion, maybe going in a different direction with the queen and dark square bishop's placement. Maybe just putting pressure on that diagonal. Because I don't know, even though you have the bishop pair, I have firm control over this isolated pawn. I don't know if there's really an attack against the king. So maybe even here, maybe the best resistance is to just play b5 and not take the queen. b5, b4 stuff, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But anyhow. Okay, let me close out.